What you're about to hear was classified just 48 hours ago, and now it's leaking fast. Shoot, NATO is in chaos. Behind closed doors, leaders are fighting over whether to give Ukraine real security guarantees or leave them dangling in the wind. Some say it's the first crack in the alliance. Others are warning it could drag America into a war we can't walk away from. But that's not all while Brussels debates. Russia is doubling down. New intelligence suggests Putin is preparing a move that could blindside the West. And get this, a leaked memo out of Washington hints the White House is pressuring NATO to play nice, even as Poland and the Baltics demand hard military commitments. The split is growing. The unity is fading. And here's the kicker. Global elites are panicking. They know if Ukraine gets these guarantees, the balance of power shifts overnight. If they don't, the credibility of NATO itself could collapse. Wait until you hear what just dropped from the summit floor. This is bigger than anyone expected. We've got the details and more from across the country. But before we get started, like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a breakdown. The debate over Ukraine's security future has entered a decisive moment. In the halls of NATO and Washington, planners are sketching out what a post-war Europe might look like and what guarantees Ukraine will need to survive in it. NATO leaders are rushing to define new security guarantees for Ukraine. A coalition of the willing, 30 nations strong, has been quietly shaping a plan. They're offering Article 5-like assurances without granting full NATO membership. But details are disappearing fast. Why? Because no one wants to provoke Russia or overcommit. And yet, this could rewrite the rules of European defense. What are those guarantees and who's pushing back? Who's driving and who's resisting? The US under Trump is on the line. He ruled out NATO membership for Ukraine. He also vowed no American boots on the ground. But he's opened the door to air support and vague guarantees, depending on conditions. Europe? They're stepping up. France, Britain, Germany pushing for real meat, not just symbolism. The reason? They know vague words won't stop the bombs. Behind closed doors, military strategists are moving beyond the usual promises of weapons deliveries. They're weighing something far more serious: the deployment of European troops inside Ukraine itself, not under NATO's official flag, but under individual national commands, with the US carefully watching from above. Washington's role? Not boots on the ground, but the skies. American planners are floating the idea of fighter jets, drones, and missile defense systems, protection without entanglement. As these ideas take shape, NATO's defense chiefs have gathered for an emergency virtual meeting. On the table is a bold proposal, a multinational force of up to 30 nations that could physically enforce peace terms on Ukrainian soil. But one red line is already drawn. US soldiers will not be part of it. The question now, are these promises empty or enforceable? The stakes are enormous. If these guarantees hold, Ukraine survives. NATO looks credible. Russia is checked. If they fail, Ukraine is alone. NATO's deterrent power is shattered. And Russia? It gains the upper hand. Amid the talks, the United Kingdom has stepped forward with its own offer. London is prepared to send troops, not into the trenches, but to guard Ukraine's skies and ports. Their mission would be defensive, far from the front lines. Britain wants to provide logistics, training, and protective cover, not engage in combat. One wrong word, one leaked detail, and Putin could feel emboldened. Are these guarantees a lifeline or a trap? The shadow of past failures. Ukrainians remember the Budapest Memorandum, signed in 1994 in exchange for nuclear disarmament. Those were assurances, not enforceable commitments. And when Russia invaded, Ukraine was left exposed. Now they demand something stronger. This time, security must be real. On the ground, the numbers being discussed show just how serious the stakes are. France is considering deploying between 3,000 and 5,000 troops. The UK, while not giving a figure, has signaled it is ready to contribute. And in the background, negotiators are preparing a weapons package worth $90 to $100 billion. A massive arsenal bankrolled by US and European funds, designed to secure Ukraine's future and deter Russia from trying again. But can the West deliver what words once failed to? The summit unfolds. At a high-stakes White House summit, Zelensky met Trump and a European delegation. Trump shifted, backed security guarantees, but refused troops. Europe pushed back. They want real force, on land, in the air, at sea. Diplomacy is playing with fire. Russia answered with its biggest drone and missile barrage yet. Across the Atlantic, President Trump has hammered home his position. Once again, he declared that no American ground troops will set foot in Ukraine. Yet, Washington is signaling that it won't simply stand aside. Air power remains firmly on the table. Fighter jets, surveillance drones, logistics support, and advanced air defenses. In other words, America will back Ukraine, but from the sky. Diplomatically, the US is steering the conversation in another direction, toward Europe. Officials are pushing for Europe to take the lead in security guarantees, with Washington acting as coordinator and overseer. In parallel, whispers of a potential summit swirl, one that could bring Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin to the same negotiating table. The timing, the location, the outcome, still uncertain. Everything is on edge. Next question. Can diplomacy outpace destruction? Here's the kicker. A secret memo, leaked today, suggests that some European leaders are secretly preparing to deploy peacekeeping forces inside Ukraine, even if Trump backs out. They're calling it Operation Guarantee. But if Trump reverses, if the US washes its hands, these troops could become NATO's first official footprint in Ukraine without NATO's name. What happens then? Will it ignite a new flashpoint or be the only thing that saves Europe? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel as we look forward to seeing you on our next video.